There's a kind of pain that doesn't show up with bruises or broken bones. It hides beneath laughter, behind forced smiles, and under the skin of fake confidence. It is called disrespect. This pain is subtle, yet sharp. It stings when you are overlooked, dismissed, or taken lightly. It cuts deeper when you are not heard, when your presence means nothing, and when your words are treated like air. For most men, this disrespect comes not just from the outside world, but from within. Society may dishonor you, but nothing compares to the sting of you dishonoring yourself. And when you lack self-respect, others mirror that void right back to you. Disrespect is often a reflection of your internal energy or the lack of it. And at the core of male energy lies sexual energy. The loss of the sacred energy through addiction, pornography, constant ejaculation, and living without discipline strips a man of his inner power. But when a man retains a seed, everything changes. Semen retention is not just about abstaining from ejaculation. It is about reclaiming your dignity, your presence, and your respect, both self-respect and respect from others. Through this path, you no longer live at the mercy of others' opinions. You no longer suffer the pain of disrespect, because you stand in your power, and that power commands respect naturally. Before diving into how semen retention solves this problem, we must understand where disrespect comes from. In today's world, many men feel invisible. Their efforts go unnoticed. Their pain is not acknowledged. Their strength is not honored. From workplaces to relationships, a large number of men are treated as disposable, weak, or replaceable. But why? The truth is uncomfortable. When a man leaks his power, the world ignores him. Society is wired to recognize strength and presence. When your presence is weak, so is the respect you get. People treat you how you treat yourself. And when you disrespect your own body by spilling your seed daily without purpose or control, you're silently telling the world, I do not value myself. You may not say it with words, but your energy speaks it. Your aura tells the truth. That is why so many men get ghosted, ignored, mocked, walked over. That is why a woman loses interest after the initial chase. That is why co-workers ignore your input. You've emptied yourself, and now your cup holds no power. Disrespect, then, is not merely a social problem. It is a spiritual, energetic problem. The masculine is meant to stand, not to leak. You are meant to contain, not to give yourself away for momentary pleasure. And semen retention is the path back to that power. Semen retention is like building a fire within. Each day you abstain from releasing, that fire grows hotter, stronger. It warms your spirit. It fuels your confidence. And most importantly, it begins to restore your dignity. When you retain your seed, something changes in your body language. Your shoulders straighten. Your eyes become focused. Your voice becomes grounded. You walk with quiet confidence. You no longer chase approval. You no longer seek validation. You are enough. You become a man of presence. This presence is what commands respect, not just from others, but from yourself. You stop tolerating what once drained you. You stop being nice just to be accepted. You start choosing solitude over company that disrespects your time. You stop negotiating with people who only come to take. Why? Because your energy is now precious. You value it. And what you value, others learn to value too. That's how semen retention heals the pain of disrespect. It transforms the vibration you send to the world. You no longer ask for respect. You become the embodiment of it. Nowhere is the pain of disrespect felt more than in romantic relationships. Many men lose their frame completely. They become emotional doormats. They ignore red flags, tolerate manipulation, and chase love that wounds them. Why? Because they are sexually enslaved. When a man's priority is orgasm, his decisions are based on his lower nature. He will sacrifice everything, his peace, his money, his purpose, for the illusion of connection. He becomes weak. Women sense this. And though it's rarely spoken aloud, many women lose respect for men who can't master themselves. Semen retention changes the game. When you retain, your mind clears. You no longer view women as trophies to be won or problems to solve. You view them as companions to be honored, but only if they bring peace and match your values. You no longer chase beauty. You choose substance. And that shift commands feminine respect. A man who can say no to temptation becomes rare. He becomes valuable. He becomes attractive, not just in a physical way, but in a spiritual way. His discipline creates a gravitational pull. People don't play games with you when your energy is focused and fierce. You set the standard. You stop begging for respect. You expect it because you now give it to yourself first. The world doesn't listen to weak men. Society steps on them, laughs at them, uses them, from media to politics to business. Only those who stand tall in their purpose are respected. When you release constantly, your edge disappears. You lose ambition. You become passive. Days pass, and your drive is gone. Your vision fades. You fall into comfort, and the world leaves you behind. But semen retention sharpens your mind. It restores your fire. It makes you hungry again, not for sex, but for growth, for impact, for meaning. Your eyes begin to carry a different fire. Your energy shifts rooms. You begin to speak with clarity and think with vision. Your presence makes people pause. You no longer blend into background. You lead. You move with intention. And people listen. Respect is no longer something you chase. It becomes a default response to your energy. Because when a man contains his seed, he becomes a man of substance. Even if the world disrespects you, the real question is, do you respect yourself? This is where the deepest pain lives. Because when you ejaculate in secrecy, watch porn in the dark, live without discipline, and make promises you don't keep, something inside you breaks. You may not admit it, but you feel shame, guilt, emptiness. That's disrespect from within. It is worse than any insult from others. Semen retention is a process of healing this self-inflicted disrespect. It is the act of telling yourself, I am worthy. I will not betray myself anymore. And the more days you retain, the more your inner self begins to trust you. You start to look yourself in the mirror with pride again. You rebuild your self-image. You walk with integrity. You no longer speak weak words, make empty promises, or lie to yourself. This is the greatest healing. To respect your own word again. When you keep your seed, you keep your promise. And that changes everything. Why most men won't do it. Most men are not willing to face the discomfort. They are too addicted, too numb. They'd rather suffer disrespect than give up pleasure. They'd rather feel accepted for a moment than respected for a lifetime. But that's not you. You feel the call. You feel the pain. And you are ready to end it. You understand now. No one will respect you more than you respect yourself. And semen retention is a foundation of self-respect. It is not the only path to greatness, but it is a necessary one, because it rewires you at the root. It resets your compass. It purifies your vision. It returns you to the man you were always meant to be. Disrespect is a teacher. It shows you where you have given your power away. It reflects the gaps in your discipline. It invites you to rise. You don't need to fight people. You don't need to argue or prove your worth. Just retain. Let your energy speak. Let your self-control radiate. Let your presence command silence. And watch the world begin to treat you differently, not because they've changed, but because you have. The pain called disrespect ends when the man inside you decides to become sacred again. And semen retention is the first vow in that sacred journey. Retain. Respect. Rise. Join the Retain to Thrive Telegram channel at the link below, where we focus on building discipline, overcoming distractions, and achieving goals. Join the supportive community sharing tips, motivation, and accountability. Let's grow together, one step at a time. Subscribe,